Howdy folks, welcome back to Duke Fraser Productions. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at a new bullet from a new bullet mold from Gone Bullets. This is a bullet for the 49 pocket model, so stay tuned. Alright folks, as I said, today we're going to be taking a look at the new bullet that comes from the new bullet mold from Gone Bullet Molds. This is the little Colt 31 caliber pocket model bullet, and this is kind of like the Dragoon bullet. It's sugar loaf design, and I know it's real small and it's hard for you to see from right there, but I'm going to try to put a picture up here on the screen. Alright, so this little bullet weighs in at 80 grains. So this is almost twice the weight of the round ball for the 31 caliber pocket model. Now, on Gone Bullet Molds page, they say it casts at 327, but the diameter says it's at 330. And I'm thinking this one that I cast out, they were in the 330 range because they were a little bit tight on the loading. But that's also due to the fact that the pocket model has a really short lever. And with this the length on this bullet, you got to move a little bit more lead than you do with a round ball. So because of that, I was having a little difficulty loading it. Mark Hubbs told me I'd probably need a little lever, cheater bar, if you will, on the loading lever to get it to load, and he was right. I was going to need a cheater bar. But we did manage to load and fire 10 shots, and I'm going to tell you the accuracy on this thing wasn't the best that I've seen. However, I did shoot this thing at 15 yards. And as we said on the last video where we tested the accuracy of this pocket model, I said it was not a long-range precision firearm. Well, I took it out to the 15 yards with this bullet, and it proved that that's a little bit far for this gun to group accurately. But with that, we'll go ahead and we'll take you over and we'll show you how it did. Alright, so we got the 49 pocket model here all set up, and we got one round loaded already, but we'll show you for the rest of them here. So what I'm using is 10 grains of 3F Go X. And we'll pour that in. I don't have a felt lubricated wad for this size of gun, so we'll use the grease on top. I'm going to take one of these Gone Bullet Mold bullets for the pocket model, and we'll sit that in. And I think I must have got into a little bit of hard lead, because these things are not easy to get into the chamber. So what I'm having to do is, and I know everybody's going to throw a fit, but I got to stick my thumb in the trigger guard and to get that bullet to seat in, and it cuts a fairly good chunk of lead there when you do that, so it's getting a good seal. That I think I just got some harder lead in my melt pot. I'm gonna have to go and dump it out and start over again, put that lead in a different one. Now they do make little tools. They're kind of like a little extension that goes on your loading lever that this would come in really handy for with this bullet. Alright, once we get that all loaded up, like I said, being as I don't have wads for this one, I'm going to just use some grease. Let's take the little applicator I got and fill it up nice and good. Alright, so we're loaded up with the Gone bullets. We'll go over to our target and see what we can do with it. Alright, so we got the Gone bullet here for the pocket model. We got a target set up at 15 yards. I know the last accuracy video I did with this gun, we did it at 7, but that gun done so well, I figured, well, we can take it out a little bit further here. So we'll see what this can do. And I'm going to aim right at the center dot. I don't see where that cut at. I don't know where it went.
Could it be shooting ungodly high? Let's just go down, aim low, and see. Holy Moses, this thing's shooting high. Okay, I'll try that again and see if I can put the bullet in the same spot. That's what it is. It's shooting about that high. I thought I hit at the bottom. I didn't. I hit way up above. So I aimed right at the bottom of the paper, and I put two almost on the bullseye, a little bit low of the bullseye and to the left. So we'll load this up again and see what we can do with it. So as you can see there at the beginning, this thing is shooting this high at 15 yards. It was shooting high enough that I wound up not doing the chronograph test on it. That was one of the reasons why we didn't do a chronograph test. And if you're not familiar, we did recently add a chronograph to the channel. We just haven't had it in a video yet. So because of that, I didn't test it with a chronograph. I didn't want to take a chance of hitting one of the arms on there and having to order new parts. Being it's a brand new chronograph, and that had been the first video, or this would have been the first video it was in. And the other reason why we did not continue testing after 2 accuracy loads is not a problem with the bullet, it was a problem with the gun. That gun is a cap jamming son of a gun. I'll just put it that way. And it's not because the hammer is pulling the caps off, it's because a combination of two things. One, the mainspring is too weak, and it does not hold enough pressure on that hammer to keep that cap down when it fires. The other thing is that the vent holes on the nipples are too big, and they let too much gas come back out, and when the combination of those two winds up in those caps just getting blown right down into the action. Does that mean as soon as you fire, the hammer's sitting back and the cap is already way down in? Now usually with a cap jam, when it does what's known as cap sucking, it grabs the cap, pulls it off, and then drops it in the action. That's not happening on these. These are getting blown back in. So I'm going to have to put some different nipples on there to get it to work. Now you can, I've been told, fit slick shots to these guns. However, the slick shot nipples are a little bit longer than the stock nipples for the pocket model. And when I tried that with the slick shots that I had, I couldn't cap the gun. The caps would not bend around and get around on that because that cone was too long on there. But there are some other markets that do have those style of nipples that will fit on that gun. I've just got to get some and put on it. And once I do that, then maybe we'll test this again. But overall, I mean, the accuracy wasn't terrible. It just wasn't the greatest that I've seen. And again, we're dealing with a small diameter bullet, a small powder charge on a really, really short barrel. So it's not going to perform as well at longer ranges, say, as the 36 and the 44 and so on and so forth. All right, folks, that's going to take care of it today for the video on the Aersgone Bullet Molds Pocket Model Bullet. If you liked what you've seen on the channel thus far, be sure to hit that subscribe button down there below. Don't forget to check us out over on the social media platforms. We got Facebook, we got Instagram, we got Patreon. Head on over, check those out. Maybe think about giving us something to help keep the channel going over on Patreon. And remember, stay tuned and keep your powder dry. I've had enough with that one. Oh, yeah. Every single one of them.